Hey nerds! It's Geeks of Cascadia. Geeks of Cascadia. Geeks of Cascadia. Exclusive tabletop game podcast for the Pacific Northwest. All levels of gamers. Analog gaming. Tabletop news. Dungeons and Dragons and magic. Stupid, mindless banter.
There will definitely be some. That's probably our best. That's our best feature.
Hey geeks, Blue Samurai here. It is episode 45, and I am Blue Samurai.
I am ridiculous.
I'm Stubble.
And we are your podcast to tabletop news and interviews and game reviews and cons and all kinds of crazy stuff.
RPG stuff. Stand up and make sure they can see that we're matching today.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
see?
yes. I know.
Because look at our shirts.
I love
It's
it.
very
That's right.
wizards.
Yeah.
That's right. So if Wizards, you want to sponsor us?
Yes, if you want to sponsor
right
us.
here.
It's
Call.
only
Give me a call.
$1,000 a month.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, nobody's doing that.
It's well worth every penny.
Yeah, I think it
Oh,
is.
yes.
But we have a great show today.
We do.
We are interviewing.
Do tell.
Well, we
Quantify
have
that,
Tifa
sir.
Robles,
Oh, I
who
love
is
her.
coming on the show. So,
And
actually, we interviewed her a couple months ago
At
OrcaCon.
OrcaCon.
at OrcaCon, and we have a game review, right? I think.
Yes, we're me being Doug and Kelly, we're going to review Reef from Next Move Games.
Ooh.
And we have witty banter.
There'll be some banter
That'll be
here,
fantastic.
and then in the middle, and then on the end. So
Oh,
make sure
there's
you stay to
banter.
the end.
So if
And
you
the-
feel like you
the-
want to, if you want to fast forward, you can.
the very, very end is after the music is usually the best part.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, the cussing.
the-
That's where you put the cussing.
So Tifa, she founded Lady Planeswalkers.
She did.
Woo!
She did over 100 chapters across the globe.
The Globe.
The
which is
globe,
amazing.
mofos.
Yeah.
The globe.
She is crazy awesome.
That's
It
a
is.
mouse.
And now,
There's more chapters than listeners.
speaking of chapters,
Yes.
she's written a book.
She has written a book.
That's fantastic.
I wish this book was around.
The
when I was
Explorers
young.
of Azullucent.
Awesome. Nicely
Azullucent.
pronounced.
Yes.
Azullucent.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yes.
Yeah,
She talks
okay.
about her world and a little bit of the story because I believe she has a Kickstarter coming.
Kickstarter coming February 26th, I'm pretty sure. It's coming up really soon. This is
Yes.
going up on the
I don't.
18th
Sure.
of February.
When I get home.
And I'm going to edit tomorrow, which is going to be Monday.
Say the title again.
Times.
That's really the thing.
The Explorers of Azullucent.
Yes. And
Sounds fantastic.
we haven't decided. We're going to do the interview first or the game review first.
We haven't really decided, but
We haven't decided.
what's your first fantasy novel that you read?
My
Just
first
We're
fantasy
talking about Tifa and fantasy novels.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good segue.
So my very first fantasy novel was
Charlotte's Web.
No, Spell
Oh,
for
sorry.
Chameleon.
Is
Spell for
this
Chameleon.
Someone tapping on the table?
Pierce Anthony.
I
Yeah.
don't, your dog, I think.
No. This is-
So
That's your dog.
That's my
Spell for
dog.
Chameleon.
By the way, we're at our secret underground lair in Everett, Washington,
Yes.
where we have dogs protecting us from people who are trying to attack us to get into our podcast.
So you might hear barking and
We're barking
claw
and claws
Well,
all on the
we
floor.
things. Yes.
But
Yes.
the dogs, you might hear tapping.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, something chameleon.
Spell for Chameleon.
Wait, what is that?
It's by Pierce Anthony. It's a
Okay.
fantasy of a land called Xanth, and
Oh.
he did a lot of them, but that was my entryway into fantasy.
Okay.
And then it branched out to other things.
For me, I was like I was 24 years old, and
Late bloomer.
my girlfriend and my other roommate,
No reaction.
currently my wife of 25 years, Janice.
Just go on, man. She's
Yeah,
not listening.
She's waving at us. Convinced me to read Sunrunner's Fire, and I thought, okay. I'm like, okay, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Fantasy novels are for nerds. I'm not going to read this book.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were so insistent. I read this book, and
Paul read comic books in high school.
I read comic books in high school. Spidey taught me to read. Anyway,
Yes.
so I read Sunrunner's Fire by Melanie Ron. One of the best series ever.
No?
I just
Okay.
absolutely love it. I suggest that to everyone.
My favorite is, of course, I have two, but Tolkien is a good one, but Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
It took a long time. Thank you, Brandon Sanderson, for bringing this back together and making it readable. Oh my God.
Oh, you didn't like it when good old Robert was there?
They're in the middle. Robert Jordan's like a guess. Okay, this book is like 1,000, 200 pages, and it's going to cover a weekend. It's like, the book started like it's going to be 800 pages and cover 6 months, and as they got bigger, they covered less time.
Yeah.
And then in the middle there, it got a kind of a slog, but A Wheel of Time is a great series.
Yeah, I was thinking it was kind of lame to bring up The Hobbit and whatnot, but that was the first one I read, and I didn't read the other ones. I just read The Hobbit.
Just The Hobbit.
It was on TV as a cartoon, so it prompted me to read the book. And then I think I read Dune later on, and I'm pushing 50. I'm pushing 50 here, but I tell you, a couple of years ago, maybe it was 3 summers ago, I read all the George R.R. Martin's, all of them, on my phone, sitting on my patio.
Wow.
I read all of that, and even the offshoot stories, the dunk and egg kind of story.
Dunk and eggs.
Oh my God!
Okay.
I read all of these things. Little Winters is crazy.
And of
So
course,
Well,
so that's about it. I don't do a lot of reading.
they're once again doing a video
And
version, a
Orange.
movie version.
Oh,
Movie version,
Oh
yes.
yeah, they're redoing it.
She
Oh,
says
geez.
yes. Movie version.
I don't know. I'm
too.
very attached to the original. I'm so
well,
attached to the original. Sting. Hello.
Have you seen Jason Momoa?
What am I in a cave?
Well,
Yes. Well, if I was,
he's supposedly.
I hope it would be with him.
He was going to be.
And I'm a lesbian, so that's a thing.
Jason
Jason
Momoa,
Momoa.
sexiest person on the planet.
yeah.
I can't even.
And
Can
it
we
sounds like
just-
he's going to be in Dune.
Silence for Jason.
He's
Yes, a moment
he's
of
a good-looking man.
Yes.
A Momoa
Yes.
of silence.
Momoa of silence.
So, and
And watch North Shore. Find it.
yes.
He's the bartender. He was like 20.
That's right.
Great show. No, it's not. It's terrible. But
And we've
I
been
love
playing
Honey.
D&D, of course.
yes, we have.
Some more than
Well,
others.
Some more than others.
Well, well, the game that I'm with you guys on,
Some of us are.
you guys are
more-
cheating on me, but that's okay. But the Dragon Heist has been going very well for us, I
It's
think.
great.
And
Dragon
I
Heist
think
is awesome.
I was a little confused at first, like, where are we, what are we doing? What's our
There's
goal?
so many factions.
I was
and
confused
waters.
at first, and I chose the wrong preferred terrain because I didn't. It's the same thing I did in the White Plume Mountains.
You know what? It might get better once we go to the next one.
Oh.
Yeah, it could be.
Yes.
Dun dun dun. That's what you
Well, Ranger in a city doesn't quite work out.
He
But,
puts
should. I
the
know
sound in.
exactly. Yeah.
but we're each in different factions, so I don't know how that works in the end, but we'll find out.
We'll find out.
And of
That
course,
makes me wish I wore my Emerald Enclave
you
t-shirt.
should have wore that.
It does, but you were in your
I wore it
Dungeons and
yesterday.
Dragons t-shirt.
And of
Sure,
course,
yes.
we are all going to do a big review of it, right?
Well, definitely, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get Steve in here, maybe some of the other folks, and do a full review of it. It'll be spoilerific, but
Oh,
It
we'll
will be.
review it.
it
We'll review
It tends
that
to be
before,
one of our
like
biggest,
nothing has been
uh,
reviewed before.
it tends to be our biggest draw. I don't know why. Are those reviews? But anyway, we should get into the meat of this show.
We should.
So
Meat.
let's talk about
Those meat.
cons.
Those meat.
Oh,
We got-
conventions.
What about
Conventions.
pros?
What?
Pros.
You're
cons.
really
Again,
I
this is
know.
the table.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't
Hit the
touch
table.
it.
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh,
Joe.
My segment on mansplaining will come later.
Conventions. Oh, so you may have noticed recently, if you are a Northwest person and the Western Washington or even Eastern Washington
So
area,
this
because
is not France
it was
or
worse
any
there.
of those other
Mhm.
people. But
we had a weather event
We did.
where it was hard getting by on the streets and there was like no plowing.
freaking pansies.
I don't know what was going on with that, why it was so messy. But Nerd Fair got postponed. Nerd Fair was going to be in February, and now it's March 2nd in Linwood, Washington.
That's
So
cool.
we're able to just push it back a couple
Because
weeks.
then we can go.
That's great. And we are,
We're gonna.
we're going to go.
You can meet Rebeculous and
Rebeculous
Paul
and
and still
still
Paul. And,
I will not be there, but I'll be watching over you. Not in a weird way. Not in a weird way.
we'll forge your autographs.
That's great.
So that's a convention that's coming up in Washington. It's brand new, first year. It's going to be cool.
It's fair with an E at the end,
That's right.
like, you know, the old English.
Yes.
Did you guys send an email to him to get a media badge, maybe, perhaps?
No. It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of late for that.
You can
okay.
use your charm.
Pretty cool.
Use your charm.
Yeah, so I'll make a charisma roll when we go in.
Or maybe
we're never going to get in.
Maybe because it's the first year, you throw him a couple bones to.
Yeah,
you know.
that's good.
So what type of con is it though?
It's all nerd stuff. It's not just vendors. It's not just Community Row. It's a bunch of cool nerd stuff.
Well, like pocket protectors, like
Yes, maybe. We're gonna find out when we get there.
Man.
So
Okay.
if you could get her a Geeks shirt, that would be great. So we could be a team.
You know the size.
Oh,
You
yes.
know the size.
That's
now.
right.
Don't make me say it.
That's right.
And
You
if
want
you
to say it?
No.
Man's large. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's
Did that come out? Oh.
And if you could get Steve one as well, that would be good because we talked about it last night.
Don't pound the table. Okay.
Okay. Which is great because it's the same size shirt that Rebecca wears. So, what else do we got going on?
I love
Paul?
my beer.
What
I
other
don't care.
cons do we got?
We in Victoria, British Columbia.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Victoria.
Why'd you add that? That was an Australian
Capital
thing to add.
A? No, they say A a lot in Canada.
Oh, that's Canada. Yeah, they do. Don't
They
they?
do.
I was
It's spelled C-A-N-A-D-A.
It's a lot of A's. You're absolutely right.
March 22nd and 24th, there's Capital City Comic Con,
Oh, okay.
where they're going to be talking about comic books, and that will be fantastic.
Right.
There's a big picture of a bunch of people here on my thing, and that sounds fun.
Wow, super descriptive for those who are watching out there.
Exactly. But it's really cool. I mean, if you're in British Columbia,
That looks cool.
that looks like a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And also, in March, slightly before that, like maybe the weekend before, we have this what is my note? ECCC thing.
Really, that was hard for you to read? It's just like C's.
What does that stand for?
Emerald
ECCC?
City Comic Con.
Oh, yes, that's going to be March 14th through 17th. So go warm up there. Get your nerd stuff on for comic books.
Yes.
And then the next weekend, go to Victoria.
I want to go.
That sounds like a really good life plan.
I think it's good. It's like fill your box
You should
full
be
of
like
comic
a
books.
nerd life coach.
I should be a nerd life coach. Just buy more comic books and more dice. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just roll 20s.
Well, you got to listen to people too. It's part of life coaching.
I have to listen to people.
You have to listen.
It's my job is to talk to people. I'm a podcast.
Wow, I'm looking at some of the guests out here. They got some cool guests.
Emerald City?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, what else? What other con stuff do we got going?
That's all we have
That
going
is
on.
it?
We're
That
saving
dude's
some
name
for the
really
next
Blackie.
podcast.
Okay. No, that's cool. So, I guess we got to transition into tabletop game news or Kickstarter.
Kickstarter corner?
Well, but I mean, I kind of do both.
Okay, go ahead. All right.
Okay, so my actual preparation, of course, was 48 hours ago. And,
That's fine.
You know,
That's good.
That's just like a blip in Kickstarter time.
What was the reason we didn't record 2 days ago? What was the reason?
There
for
was
that?
stuff.
There was
Doesn't
stuff.
matter. Listeners don't care about that. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, I tell you, so I just kind of zipped through these, and just a couple of them caught my eye, and one of them was Hexagon.
Oh, with an E on the end.
Hexagon.
Yes.
Hexagon, yeah. And it looked kind of cool. It's you know, the little tiles are hexagons of either white or blue, and it just looks like a neat little abstract puzzle game is how it describes itself. And this is on Kickstarter, and I actually think they
Do you have
surpassed
to be
their
a
goal.
nation to do
You
puzzles?
know, I wonder what these little nation things are. I think this is just where the game exists now, where it's,
Okay,
it's
well, that
already
makes sense.
at.
People
And
who speak English.
it just kind of looks cool. It's a 2 to 4 player game, and it's by Handsome Games. Handsome.
So it's about me and Steve.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yes.
Oh my god. But it just looks kind of cool. They describe it as a abstract Scrabble.
Okay.
And it looked kind of neat.
Cool.
The campaign is over 3 times its funding goal, so that's how many people are interested.
But
and
if you want it, get in.
yes, it looks pretty fun. But, however, and heretofore, Another thing that caught my eye is this, it took me a while to read this. Horrible Games Running Alone Kickstarter is what it says. So Horrible Games is the name. The game
Sounds
is called,
horrible.
yes, exactly. I love that name.
Thank you.
Or did they
Thank
screw themselves by calling it?
They might have.
The game is called Alone, and for some reason they have in this big corner of the picture that I'm looking at, and I didn't notice this right away, funded in 37 minutes.
So be fast.
So to me,
Go.
that says this thing's awesome.
So go back in time.
Yes,
And
exactly.
this is one of those it's sci-fi, it's a one versus many game, and apparently, this is new to me, normally in those, like one person is the bad guy, and this one's the opposite. One person's the good guy.
Oh, okay.
And the other players are the ones that are trying to track them. And you only know certain things about your environment, you know, along the way. It's very know as you go along kind of shit. So one person's the good guy trying to escape, and the other ones are trying to kill him. So I thought that was like, oh shit, freaky. And then I scroll down, and the opposite of that is this kind of many versus one thing. This is you're of an Asian persuasion. Is this how do you pronounce that? How do you pronounce this?
Hako Ona.
Okay, all right. And do you know what it means?
I have no idea.
Okay, well it means box woman.
Okay, there you go.
This is not exactly my cup of beer, but
Oh yeah, Ona, yeah.
but apparently it's kind of a horror game. Although, and I don't usually, but it looked really Thank you. It looked by Whiz Kids, and it looked really intriguing. And one of them, the box woman, is the woman who's trying to kill all the others who are in this house, and she moves around, and they move around, and there's all types. This is, you know, so it's kind of the opposite of the other one. And I guess if you win, you win if you kill her, or if you're her, you win if you get out. So I don't know. One of the ways of winning just sounds horrible, and if you could see this picture, it's one of those eyeball pictures.
Just terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe,
Okay.
maybe he can press the eyeball right here.
Okay, so these were the three, the hexagon, but however, and in addition to, the one that really kind of caught my eye is this one called Icarus. Icarus. You know, like the dude with the wings made of wax.
Sure, yeah.
And it's a storytelling game. And it's about how great civilizations fall. And you create your own civilization, and it's not, they say it's
my own civilization? Like,
yes.
based after me, like
It is
as a god
in
my own image.
Well,
Very tall, a little bit pudgy.
there is one thing
Drinks a lot.
yes,
Drinks a lot.
yes, sort of like that. It's a nation, city nation of your design. There's no GM. It is a role-playing game, but there's no GM. And you each become diplomats or scientists or marshals or actors or politicians or business moguls or what have you. And you describe the events taking place in your city, which I misread. I thought you could name your own city. And I went off with the names of them. I was like,
Paulopolis.
Paulopolis was... Oh, I can't pound the table!
No, don't pound the table. We're doing it.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway.
It was worth it. God damn it, put that at the end. Anyway, it looked super cool. Paulopolis. I thought Blue Samurayville. I thought
Rebecculopolis.
Rebecculopolis.
Anyway, it looked really awesome. Apparently, you can, it's storytelling. And there's like dice and cards and a rule book. And they will give you all of those things if you contribute to their Kickstarter. And so there's about, I don't know, 20 days left to go on that. And I'm going to throw a few dollars their way because that looks super fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Plus Icarus, like that's really cool. And then people who don't know Icarus are like, you don't even want to
Well, if you
explain
play
it to them.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you know Icarus.
Okay.
Icarus is your bird.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's it. And plus it's pretty. It's a pretty game. And you know, cosmetics are important.
Cool.
Sometimes.
Anything about surfing in there?
Surfing? Like surfing? In Icarus or?
Okay.
What you talking about,
So
Willis?
that's is that it? Was it good?
Well, I don't know. Was there a time limit on
No,
my segment?
no.
I could babble. I could babble on until the time limit.
I was going to talk a little bit about tabletop game news.
I think these are the 4 that come
Okay,
on.
no, that's
I
good.
thought 4 was a respectable segment
that is very
compared
good.
to what I did last time.
Well, very good. Well, in tabletop game news, Z-Man Game announces a new edition of Love Letters. So if you love that game, and there's a new edition coming out. Free League Publishing launches Illustrated The Call of Cthulhu Kickstarter. I guess that's kind of Kickstarter-like, but anyway, it's out there. One thing we don't talk about a lot here is miniatures, and I know people love miniatures. And so what we got is Flames of War.
Flames of
War, which is a miniatures game, but they've got a new release. It's called Flames of War Ghost Panzer Releases. So we got the HS-129 Battle Flight, which contains 2 aircraft. We've got a Panther tank platoon. We've got some armored flamethrower platoon. That sounds very scary.
Nice.
I just want that in my car.
And the Hummel Artillery Battalion and a squad of KFZ 7-1. Those looks like a half-track vehicles. So check that out, Flames of War. They are available right now. Buy them and play and.
It's awesome. And by the way, if you have not been in Everett to Flying Heritage Collection, started by the late, great Paul Allen, go to Flying Heritage Collection. They've got tanks, they've got airplanes from World War II. Restored, everything but the buzz bombs are flyable.
Can you climb in then?
Well, no, they frown upon that.
Okay.
But you can look at them really close.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
All right. Well, is there anything else?
I don't think so. Should we jump to the interview with Tifa?
We should probably do that.
Let's do that.
All right, let's do that right. Well, whenever.
Now.
No.
Now.
Hey geeks, Blue Samurai here, along with
Rebeculous.
I'm still Paul.
and we are here with our old good friend. But she's a friend to the shows, and the show's been here for a long time. So you are not old, I'm sorry. In fact, you're the youngest one of all of us here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why we feel so old, because you are here. But anyway, we got Tifa Robles here. And Tifa, as you recall, if you go back in our episodes, she was the founder and organizer for Lady Planeswalkers.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And now you've got a new chapter going on in your life.
Yeah, so I'm officially resigned from being the organizer for Lady Planeswalkers, and I've been working on freelance writing. I actually have a fantasy novel that's going to be up on Kickstarter soon. It starts February 26th. And it's actually based in like feminism. I took sort of the standard classic characters that you would expect to see in a fantasy story and made them empowering females.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Is this your first, when did the writing thing, have you always written?
So I have always written. I actually started this exact story when I was in high school, and then went to college for a degree in creative writing. While I was in college, I took a look at it, you know, did a couple rewrites, and was like, oh, as soon as I graduate, I'm gonna jump into this and get it published, and instead I jumped into a career in the game industry, which is great, but I kind of never looked back. So last year, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do it. I quit my job and just jumped right in. Did another rewrite. I just got my first round of peer review back, and you know, they think that I pretty much just need to polish up a couple things, and it'll be ready to go to editing soon.
These things are years in the making, it's finally happening.
Yeah,
Good for you.
it's very overwhelming and very exciting.
And finally, you get to tell, you know, everyone, or prove the fact that all that money you invested, it's going to pay off.
Right.
In some form or fashion. You go to college for a degree, you should actually, you know, use that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not everyone does that, that's for sure.
So what's going on with the organization though you founded? What direction is it going in? You left it in good hands, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we have over 100 chapters in the world. And all of them are very self-sustained. Like each one has, you know, their own chapter head that runs the organization. Here in Seattle, we have still weekly events at Mox Boarding House in Ballard, and then we also have an East Side chapter that meets at Uncle's Games at the Crossroads Mall. So all of those events are still happening. As far as conventions, that's still to be determined what's going to happen with that, because that was being ran solely by me for the most part. So I'm still sort of hoping somebody steps up into that position, but it's still a very new change. So more to come.
So those 100 chapters, whenever they meet, they always like will take a moment and raise a glass. This is to Tifa. We're starting it all.
And kind of what are some of the countries that are like?
So we have actually a few chapters in Australia. That's the first place outside of America that someone founded. Sweden, the UK, I can't remember exactly what city, but somewhere in the UK. Brazil. Yeah, those are the ones I can think of.
Have you visited all the chapters?
Yeah.
I have not. As great as it would be, nobody has paid me to do that. So
You
Come
jerks.
on,
You
people.
better
Come
do
on.
that. You better do that. So you volunteer for all kinds of things. You've been involved with a lot of organizations. In fact, you're here at a community table here at OrcaCon as well.
yeah,
Tell us a
Queer
little
Geek.
bit about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I started to get involved with Queer Geek a couple of years ago. They have a party at PAX called Pink Party X, and I attended that party around the time I was considering coming out as bisexual. And the community that I met there were very welcoming and encouraging and helped me get to a point where I was comfortable to come out, to my family and, publicly, as a public figure, it was just kind of something I wanted to be honest with the world about. Even though I'm in a monogamous marriage with a man with a son, it's still a part of my identity that's important to me.
Right. Well, and I love this whole thing that you've been kind of focusing on inclusion and making tabletop gaming welcoming to everyone. And I like the fact that you continue to focus on that mission, even though you're going beyond the organization that you found with 100 chapters now.
Yeah.
And now focusing on this new book. And now you just gave us a little bit, but can you give us a little bit more
Absolutely.
on this book? Yeah.
So it's called The Explorers of Azullucent. Azullucent is the world that I created. The three main characters are a swashbuckling pirate woman who's just super gung-ho, badass chick, ready to...
Like you.
Yeah, ready to kick butt and take names. And it's very much what you would expect from a pirate, only a woman. And she's a captain that has respect from all, other pirate clans.
Are you taking maybe something from history? Because I think there was 2 women pirates in our history. I don't know if you did
No,
any.
I haven't.
No?
looked at
Oh,
that.
well,
No.
okay.
I should, now I know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she's related in some way. That'll be
Yeah.
your next chapter.
And then one of the other characters is sort of like your standard princess, but she's, unhappy with her life and wants to do better, so she runs away to see the world. And in the end, her story takes some turns that you might not expect. And then the other character is really, I feel like she's the one that anyone can relate to, where it's a coming of age story she's trying to figure out what she wants to do in the world. She moved away from home to try to be a head chef, but it's not going well, so she meets some other people who are sort of on similar journeys. And in the end, all of them end up together on the same mission to figure out why they have these magical necklaces. Because all 3 women have the same necklace. And when the 3 of them meet, they have magical properties. So they all go on a mission together to figure that out.
Right.
And that's
And so this is kind of this
story.
is a fantasy or sci-fi type?
It's fantasy.
Fantasy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very medieval based.
Oh, okay.
Fantasy.
All right. That's cool. And then are you planning on making multiple books? Is this a series?
Honestly,
or?
a lot of it depends on how well my Kickstarter does. The hope is that it does really well and I can continue to see what I can do. I've even considered, if the IP does really well and people love these characters, even doing something like an adventure card game or something like that would be a really great
That's right.
next step.
I was talking to you. I don't know if I think we're in Seattle somewhere.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the place, but I was saying, maybe your old friends at Wizards might be able to make something out of it, a campaign out of it or something.
Yeah.
or Netflix show. I'd watch that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
You guys could all be female characters. In the
Yeah,
campaign.
I'll do that. I'm comfortable with that.
That'd be great.
Okay, I could be the main character. I'd be okay with
Why you
that.
always gotta be the main character?
Yeah, why do you
It's
always have to be
me.
the main
Hello.
character?
Watch
Hello.
pilots. It's me.
So, okay, so it's got to be challenging and a little scary, kind of putting this together. You wrote this whole thing out, and then have you actually put for Kickstarter? I know you had to do the video and all that. Is there a place to go to right now, or is it's not live? Yet,
It's not live yet. I have tifarobles.com now, so
Oh,
that will
okay.
link to that. Right now it links to my Tumblr page where I blog regularly about all sorts of stuff, gaming related, feminism.
Talk about Geeks of Cascadia a lot. I know that. That's awesome. Thank you.
One other thing, actually. You brought up how I care a lot about welcoming people into tabletop. It's like maybe my biggest passion. I also write for tabletoptest.com. I specifically write articles to help people get into Magic the Gathering and also board games. I write about a different like genre of board game every week.
Oh,
If
cool.
you want to try a drafting game or territory building, or if there's a style you maybe haven't tried and want to like put your toe in without totally jumping into the deep end. Yeah, so I have articles like that if people are interested.
Cool.
Yeah, you're just doing more and more with it. I really appreciate that. So you said February 26th
Yep.
will be out, and you said you got the video all together, or you're not quite there?
So my Kickstarter is almost
Because
completely
I'm a
done.
very good narrator. I'm just throwing that out there in case you need one.
Good to know. Good to
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
maybe I'll contact you for some
Oh,
help.
okay,
with
yeah,
it.
sure.
But yeah, the Kickstarter's almost done. I've had a lot of help with friends who've had successful ones. So
And are you gonna do a
fingers crossed.
30-day thing?
30 days. So yeah,
Okay.
through March 28th.
So for whatever reason, those seems to be the most successful. Is
Yeah.
the shorter, but it's a little scarier though too.
It's
Do you have a
it
price?
is scary.
Do you have a price point yet, or do you know yet?
So the tier for the paperback is $28. And then
Okay.
if you go up to 34, you get some extra stuff with that. I'll autograph it for you, and you can also get some art bookmarks.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
But yeah, there will be other tiers as well.
Speaking of artists, who did you get as the artist?
I
Took my question.
Oh, sorry.
Whatever.
my friend Amanda Sharp did the art for the cover of the book. She's an amazing fantasy artist that I've known for a really long time. And then I also have my friend Stephanie Martin doing the cover design. And Nick Trujillo, who was on Strip Search with Penny Arcade, he is designing the map for me.
Oh, I like
Books with
maps.
maps.
It was important to me to find multiple local artists to support
Right,
in this
right.
project.
And you want to give a shout out to any of the people that did the editing for you, and read it and told you to move this period somewhere. Capitalize here.
Christina
leave a comma.
Horner and Liz Leo have been giving me great feedback to help make my book even better. And then Tara and Alexander Theo Harris have been helping me with the Kickstarter.
How many rewrites did you have to do on this one?
I am on my 5th rewrite, and I
Wow,
expect
okay.
one more after this one.
Oh, so you don't have a lot of time.
Well, I
Why are you here?
at this point the
Because
plot
you grabbed her in the hallway.
Yeah, that's probably
and
true.
the
yanked her
plot
in.
is completely set. It's
Right.
just making sure that I am showing everything about the characters and diving deep enough with everything.
Do you think this, I mean, I think I know the answer to this, but is this geared towards younger adults or?
Young adult, yeah, it's
Okay.
young adult.
That's my style book.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, 'cause
part
you're
of that,
a young adult.
Yes.
well, and part of that is that I started writing it when I was 14,
Oh, cool.
right? So, and I want to keep that like core of it, of like I want it to be something that a teenage girl can pick up and just really relate to and feel empowered by, and feel like it can help them on their own journey.
That's good that we're getting more of that and that you're doing that, because there's certainly a lot of books for a young teenage dude, really.
Right.
There are tons out there and growing up.
Would
I
a
can
young
pick up
guy
one.
be bored with it?
I
Or
don't
do you
think so. I
he'd
think
be
like
into it
it's
also?
very adventure. I think all genders would like it. It's very LGBTQ friendly as well, because that was important to me. So.
I know young men like a lot of action and fighting and
Oh, yeah.
car chases.
There's
which
lots
there
of
probably
that.
aren't any car chases.
I like, fluffy kittens.
Uh-huh.
And bunnies.
There are some puppies in the book.
All right,
Oh,
cool. All
nice.
right,
It's something for everybody. It's great.
So the book is nearly done. Actually, it just sounds like it just needs to
It's-
one
It's
rewrite.
just like a little bit of polishing at
Sure.
this point, yeah.
What's next in Tifa's book of life? What is the next chapter after this? Yes. I'm thinking
as well.
Netflix contract.
Oh,
Honestly, like I wish that I had an answer, but so much of it depends on how the Kickstarter goes. Like the hope is that the Kickstarter is successful enough that I get to go on a book tour with my book. So I'll get to go to all these conventions and have my own table with my own merchandise and sell a book. So that's what I'm hoping, and then either a sequel or I have an idea for a short story compilation that would be
Short
related.
stories. My attention span. That's great.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to sort of continue branching out in the same world, even if it's different characters and stories.
Great. And then maybe you can visit those different chapters as you're selling your, talking about your book.
Yeah.
That was confusing chapters of the book.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Well, I mean your Lady Plains chapters. Well, that's good. You're always busy.
I know.
I am,
Yeah.
it's true.
And she's got
And I have a 2-year-old.
Yes, that's right. And again, I just want to thank you so much because, the first year we did Geeks of Cascadia, that's why I call you an old friend of the show, is you actually were willing to talk to us. So Paul and I thank you for
Yes,
that.
very much so.
Of course,
Yeah.
And we were really nervous about it because, everyone kind of knows you in the
I'm a big
tabletop.
deal. Yeah.
You are a big deal.
You are a big deal.
Yeah, you are big, actually. You are. I know you're being modest, but in the tabletop gaming universe, it's like you're Tifa. It's like, oh my goodness. It's like Cher. It's like a single. It's a Tifa.
Well, thank you.
Do you want to talk to her? I don't know. So thank
Well,
you.
you guys
so
are
much.
great.
Well, thank you.
And we actually shared a table at Child's Play charity years and years ago.
That's
That's
right.
where we first met,
Yes. I was really nervous because I didn't know anybody there. I stayed very
well, and now
quiet.
we're old friends.
Yeah, we are. All right. Well, you know what? Good luck.
Yes.
I hope you do really well on the Kickstarter. And all of you listening out there better buy a book and support it. And if you're the Australia chapter, why don't you, why haven't you brought her out there? Buy her plane ticket, hotel room.
Come on, mate.
Oh, they love
Yeah.
they
Oh,
love
now
that.
they never
Oh,
will.
wow.
Sorry.
Whatever my
Awesome.
chance.
You're Australian.
Do we have listeners in Australia?
That's right.
We will now.
Okay.
All right, Diva. Well, thanks a
Thank
lot.
you guys so much
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Boom.
I love talking to Tifa. She's great every time. We met her at ETX
Yes,
a couple
we
of
did.
years ago.
Yes.
Oh God, and she's done such great work with Magic the Gathering and Lady Planeswalkers, and I love fantasy novels.
And and I always like to say she's young, but she's our old friend because at the very beginning of this podcast at ETX when we were collecting those interviews, you're
Oh,
right.
yeah,
She
yeah.
actually was willing to talk to us.
Yes.
Was willing to talk
Yeah,
to you.
'cause,
Come on,
No,
have some
look,
coffee.
look at these two old nerds.
Yeah, come on, man.
What sucked us?
Look, we-
Two old nerds from like
Everyone
Phoenix.
appreciates anyone else who's interested. She is awesome and she's pretty too, I must say. I just want to put that in there.
Tifa is a very nice
Yeah,
person.
She really is.
she's got it going on, man. She knows
Yes.
what that
She's done so much,
I want to read that.
and there's more. There's got to be more that's going to happen for her because she's so driven and
She's
smart.
talented, dude. Yes,
Yes.
and driven. I mean,
Maybe
there's talent and then there's drive, right?
Maybe
And
she'll
she's got
run
that-
for office someday.
She could
That'd
move
be
to
great.
the 44th district.
Yeah, maybe. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll totally vote for her.
Yeah, me too. So what else do we got going on?
Do you want to talk about just general stuff you've been doing, or do you want to save that for later?
The general stuff.
General
stuff.
Yeah.
Like being a general? Or?
Well, I don't know anybody who does that. But
I'm a
did
general.
you see the Stranger
I'm not.
Things D&D starter set?
What? What?
No.
Wait, what?
Do you even look at our Facebook page at all?
No, but I watched Stranger Things.
I
I
watched
the
don't know
person
who you're
in
talking
charge of
to.
the Facebook page
Let's,
shared a story on the
Man named
Geeks of
Brady?
Cascadia Facebook
but you
page.
hate Stranger Things.
I do.
Yeah, you do, which is just
Dumb.
a-hole of you. God.
But I'm thinking maybe I want to buy this and DM this so I can try to kill the characters.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a horrible
That is
motivation.
Well, that's what
God.
DMs do.
Why are you ever even neutral, much
Are you-
less good
are
in
you
any
guys-
campaign
are
we
you guys
play? You should
ever
be
in a
evil
DM?
all the time.
Yes, I really want to.
I don't
DM.
want him to be a DM. I don't want to play under his DM.
No, you don't.
He's just going to kill all of us in a horrible and miserable way.
Level 1, it's a beholder.
Right. What about you, Rebecca?
Will I ever DM?
Yes.
I would like to. I see that
Mm-hmm.
along the lines. Not for several years. There's so much to learn. No.
Well, you know where you learn a lot from? This awesome
The Blue
podcast.
Samurai.
Well, for me,
Yeah, yes,
obviously.
definitely.
But Dragon Talk, not Dragon Talk. Well, Dragon Talk is one.
Dragon is one, yes.
That's really good.
Dungeon Cast.
Yes, Dungeon Cast is
Dungeon
awesome.
Cast.
Check
it
it out.
is, yes. Right after you listen to our podcast.
What's so awesome about it? Why do you say that?
Because they tell about the lore of D&D. So you know how it's like, I don't know what that creature
Yeah.
is, or what that land is, or this. They do an in-depth, detailed, like,
They go
lore.
through class by class.
Yes.
Perhaps
And so-
I would not have stabbed the orange slime if I would have
Exactly,
known
exactly.
that it would only
Yes.
divide it instead of killing it.
And whenever I'm rolling up a character for a real campaign, not just for fun, I listen to Dungeon Cast
Mm-hmm.
and get updated on
Right.
the like Xanthar's guide,
Mhm.
things that happened, and what's in the player's handbook, and I really figure out how I want to build my character.
And even and Dragon Talk has a lore section too. They have something called Lore You Should Know, and they tell about some of the rules. Sometimes we forget about like certain aspects of the rules that might be kind of confusing, like time, like round initiative and all that kind of stuff. What's a bonus action? I mean, I know all that. 'cause
Inspiration.
I'm pretty good at
Bonus
that.
actions. No, that's confusing to a newbie like me. Bonus actions.
Bonus action, reactions.
Inspiration.
Well, maybe
so, yeah.
we
Reactions, yeah, that's a.
well, just check
Yeah,
out
yeah.
Dragon Talk. They've got a whole.
However, also, if you,
Yes.
you appropriately use D&D Beyond, you can click the bonus action tab. It
That's
shows you
true.
what your bonus actions are.
Mhm.
And that's cool, but super easy. But there's something like more awesome about having read it.
Just know it.
and knowing
Yes,
it, yeah.
it is.
But
Yes.
D&D Beyond is my
Does-
savior.
Are bonus actions confusing for you?
I don't use them much.
Can I use an example?
I usually
real
use a
life
bonus
example?
action to flip someone off.
No, that wouldn't be a bonus. That would be an
No,
action.
no, that's
No.
a bonus action. Flipping someone off.
No, that's an action.
I've always been allowed to use
If you're
that.
driving,
It's a bonus action.
where you're flipping.
What are you doing with your hand?
Flipping.
He's driving.
Driving?
So a
This
fart.
is driving.
A fart would be a bonus action.
Oh, I should.
Because you could do
Then I
stuff.
take many bonus actions, and I
Yes, you
never
do.
counted them
See?
on my D&D Beyond sheet. Wow.
We'll have to really dig into this sometime. Maybe we'll do it.
I don't know why we don't ever record
when
the
your
session
character is a
bars.
fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and they say, "Oh,
Not
that's
a
a rage."
barbarian. Well, okay, so
Right.
fighter barbarian, are they that far apart? Are they really?
Yeah. You can multi-class those.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm gonna do that.
So,
Do that.
Speaking of underwater things,
yes.
Is that, wow, that's a shitty segue.
like segue.
Oh, yes, I forgot. We're doing a.
We're doing a game review.
Yes, tabletop game review. That's right.
Yes.
They never tell me
Geeks
about
Tabletop
these
Game
things.
Review with Kelly and Doug.
Yes.
Reef by Next Move Games. Should we jump to that now?
Like
Sure.
reefer, like that.
Good job. Well, we don't know yet. We'll find out in the review. It might be reefer, it might just be surfing, it might be Great Barrier Reef, or fish things.
I won't pound the table.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay.
I want to know.
Okay.
I want to.
Hey geeks, welcome to another tabletop game review. I'm Kelly and this is Doug, and today we're doing Reef.
Reef, yes, another game by Emerson Matsuuchi. Reef. Boom, right there.
I was hiding things.
I used it to hide the paper. Kelly, now they're gonna know our secrets.
That we can't remember names.
I remember names. I'm not gonna look at it. See? Boom,
right.
there we go.
Who's the game designer?
Emerson Matsuuchi. Also
Who's
known
the
for
illustrator?
Chris Williams. Emerson Matsuuchi designed Century Spice Road and Century Eastern Wonders, and now the third one that's coming out, I want to say later this year.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, it would be really good.
I haven't done Eastern Wonders yet. Did we do Eastern Wonders?
Yeah, we did Eastern Wonders.
We did Eastern Wonders,
Yeah.
that's right. We just didn't do the combined.
We did not do the combined yet.
Yeah.
That's in the queue. It's in the queue up here.
So is Clank.
I don't like Clank. I'm gonna say it.
You don't like Clank.
Yeah.
Alright.
Reef was published by Next Move Games. I think it's like a subsidiary of Plan B Games, something like that.
Sounds right, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. But yeah, it plays 2 to 4 players, ages 8 and up, about 30 to 45 minutes. It's got a little bit of aspects from Spice Road, so if you've played Spice Road before, you can pick up on this fairly easily. So in this game, we are building our coral reef up on our board. Everyone starts with one of each color, and you can randomize it how you want on the board. It recommends having them in the center. I'm going to have mine like this, and you can have yours like that. And then we got it all set up, so we're going to kind of give you a zoomed in look because you'll need to see some details on these cards.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back. All right, so we've got the game set up. We've got our cards dealt out here. We'll have 3 face up and then the top card of the deck. On your turn, you can do one of 2 things. You can play a card from your hand, which I have 3 cards in my hand, so we'll just put that one back.
Sorry, I misdealt.
Yeah. So looking at my hand, I'm going to play this card. Whenever you play a card, you gain the coral that's on top, and you have to place them on your player board. And the rules for placing them, you can place them anywhere on the board, even on top of other pieces. And you can never go more than 4 high.
And on top of each other, too. So you could make a stack of 3 green if you wanted to.
Yeah, I can make a stack of 3 green. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to place them like that.
Okay.
And then I would score the pattern that's on the bottom of the card. This one is if I have 2 purple, or stacks that are too high and there's purple on top from looking down. In this orientation, I would gain 5 points. And I would gain 5 points for each of those I had on my player board. And you're not supposed to count a stack more than once. So if I had that, and we'll just do like that, I would gain 5 points for this one, but I can't double count this stack to go with this one. That would be a no-no. The other thing you can do on your turn is you can gain one of the face-up cards. These ones are all free. In order to gain the card on the stack, you would have to take one of your points and put it on the lowest value card to gain that. So
Yes.
it is your turn.
I'm going to do the same thing and take green ones. The game does end when there's out of a color.
Yeah, we don't have all of the pieces out for coral.
There's definitely a ton more.
Yeah, for 2 players, I think you use 18 pieces of each color. So.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to take this one.
Ooh, some of these symbols are really fun.
Yeah, so this one here, it's for these stacks have to be at least 2 high, so they can be 3 or 4. These ones have to be 2 high, and they can be any combination of colors. So it's basically counting adjacent 2 stacks. This one is a little bit weird. So this one, you find your highest yellow stack, and you get 2 points for each purple that's around it. So that could be pretty useful. And those are ones that you kind of plan ahead for.
Oh, yeah.
And some of these you also plan ahead for.
So I'm going to play this one. I'm going to take these 2 first. And I'm going to make... we'll put it there, I guess. Okay. So I place my 2 yellows, and then I score 4 points for my 3 in a row for my greens.
Yes.
So I take those and put one of those back.
And in the rules it says as long as you can build this in any rotational fashion at 90 degrees, you will get it. So it's not just has to be you orient it with your player board. Oh, I have to do it that way. No, it's any direction that you can do it. So
Yep.
basically play goes back and forth until, like we said, the one color of coral runs out or the deck of cards runs out, which I don't think I've seen happen yet.
No.
Even I think it would be very weird to do that in a 4-player game.
I haven't played a 4-player game yet, but
I played a 3-player once.
you have to... It's kind of like the Century Spice Road thing where you just try and get all of the cards in your hand and you realize that you're so far behind that there's nothing.
And I mean, in this one, you have a hand size of 4, so if you start your turn with 4 cards in your hand, you have to play one.
Yeah.
Even if it might not be that beneficial for you. So, yeah, so we're going to come back from this and give you our final thoughts on the game. All right, so final thoughts, because I know that you've said that you don't like this game, and maybe you were just...
I don't know what it is. It might be the shape stacking thing that is just messing with my mind. But I feel like very definitely you need to have a better feel for what's in the deck so you can plan ahead, really plan ahead. Because right now you can only see 2 or 3 moves ahead, and you have no clue what the end game is going to be.
I think that's...
I know that's kind of part of the allure for some people,
with
but
2 players, it can be like that. I think with more players...
with more players, the things you want won't be there by the time you come
that's
back
fine,
around.
and so I think planning only a few moves ahead...
Makes sense.
Makes sense a little bit, so you can get some cards into your hand, play those cards to kind of combo a little bit with each other to gain points, and then maybe in the middle of that, you see other cards come up that you might want that could help you with that combo as well. So it's probably not for everyone. It's a little bit of a design game that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what other games are like that.
And for the record, I didn't lose the game I played.
Okay.
So I didn't like it because I lost. It's not anything like that. It's just it's very tactile. I got it eventually. It just took me forever to get going and finally understand what I was doing, and it was frustrating to me.
So I have this thing where I say, like, I teach people how to play games, and I teach them so well that I lose. And I did that with this. The few times that I taught this game, I have lost. I did it over the weekend at Chris's house where I taught them how to play the Colonists, and I lost by like 20 points. It was bad. I like the game. It's got its aspects of Spice Road, and it's got its aspects that sets it apart from Spice Road. I like the pieces. The pieces are nice. I don't think we said it, but the game's $40. So
yeah. I like the double aspect of the cards. Did you get the... But it... I don't know what it is. I'll figure it out eventually and never tell anybody.
Probably.
It's a good game. I probably would play it again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy a copy for me because I know I won't play it.
And they can have it with some games.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
It's like I have all the Clanks and you hate Clank.
I do not care for Clank. It's a nice game. I just don't care for it. We did review Clank. Or did we review Clank? No, we did review Clank. We did it as just an audio recording.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not video. Not all fancy. But yeah, it's definitely got its kind of niche for people that are looking for games like this. I'm not sure I'd buy it, even though I like it. Because I like Azul. I'm not going to buy Azul. They're just...
All of your friends already have it and you don't need to?
Kind of, yeah. And it's almost always the same kind of game. But yeah.
Yeah. This is fun. It can be different. It can be challenging. I think it would be good as kind of an intro for the younger kids. Oh yeah.
For building up strategy to look, because like you said, you can only look a few steps ahead. So it would be good for them to be able to teach them to look a few steps ahead and kind of plan it out. So I think it would be good for them. I think maybe altering some way that you play it for your more gamer-oriented friends. Not sure how you can do that, but yeah, there's things you can do with it to kind of make it more interesting. So yeah. If you got any recommendations for us, shoot us an email, Geeks of Cascadia, or send us a tweet at Geeks of Cascadia. I totally forgot it for a second. It's all Geeks of Cascadia. Whatever you do, whatever your platform you're on.
We're probably there.
Yeah. I'm also on Twitter, Captain Napkin. Boom, right there. So yeah, just send us a line. We will take your recommendations to heart. If you've got a game, if you're a publisher and you got a game for us you want us to review, we can do that too. We've done that before. We've done a Kickstarter game for a local designer.
There was Goatfish.
Yeah, Goatfish. Yeah, we did Goatfish.
Was it Realms?
I think the Realms RPG system. Yeah, so we can do pretty much anything. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Even if we hate it.
Yeah. This game, good game.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. So it's not Reefer, it's Reef. That's what it's about. That sounds cool. I want to play that game.
I love Kelly and Doug. They do such a good job reviewing these games for us. They are experts at board
As
games.
do I, with the loving of Kelly and Doug. Love you guys. You guys are great.
Love the game reviews.
Yeah. We need to get together and play a game.
We do.
Let's get
We do.
together.
We were supposed to do an end of the year thing, but things happen though.
Maybe Ice Cool 2.
Ice Cool.
If you go way back through our Facebook posts, there was a 1 hour video of us playing Ice Cool 1.
It's just a stupid fun game.
Which, by the
it's
way,
not
I won.
even. Did you?
He won.
Did you?
He cheated.
Sure you did. I know.
He cheated.
I know he
That's
does.
what you want to call it. When you
Oh, when you slide your finger all the way across with the token.
I did not
That's
do that.
Oops.
Yeah.
I have this fish now.
I did not do
You
that.
did. It's
I'm
alright.
just that good. It's
It's
skilled.
alright.
I'm
Alright,
skilled.
okay.
Maybe we'll get Jesse to record.
Denial. Okay.
So I think that was a pretty good show. I think
Yeah, I agree.
we did a
I concur also.
great interview with Tifa, and of course a game review with Doug and Kelly. and-
Tifa! Isn't that like a warrioress name in and of itself?
Okay, it's
I was a little embarrassed to say
Yeah,
that in front of
it's-
her, but that was like badass. Tifa. Yes.
Have you guys played Final Fantasy VII? Or are you terrible nerds?
I'm terrible nerds.
You're terrible nerds.
Yeah, I don't play that. Sorry.
Final Fantasy VII, Tifa.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. I don't get it, but
It's like-
you do. Okay.
Are you guys excited for Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Does the freaking sun rise each morning? Yes. I cannot wait.
Okay.
Oh my.
Yes, so
Sorry,
excited.
sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. God, I'm sorry. That was such an accident.
yes.
I get so
Looking forward to
excited.
it.
Yeah,
Cannot
exactly.
wait.
I don't know what's coming out though.
March.
I think it's March-ish
1st.
something
It's
thing.
early
There's
March,
a number
first week in
in
March.
It's
Oh my
between the
God.
1st and the 31st.
Well, you get some amazing movies from Marvel. You get obviously Captain Marvel, and then what? Infinity War comes out.
Infinity War's coming out. You know, I'm sitting with my sister, who is a wonderful person, but, you know, I'm not necessarily aware, and she's less aware. And she says, it'd be cool if we had, you know, if they had the female superheroes that weren't necessarily named after the male heroes. And I'm like, dude, they do. They do. They have just shit tons of them. I'm sorry. They have, like, Psylocke and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
no, go
just
ahead, go
like
ahead.
all these women. I'm like, no, it's not just like Captain Marvel or, you know, She-Hulk, which is weird, or, you know, so I don't know.
What about Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman.
What hell? The
Yeah.
original. She's the
She is
original.
the
Dude,
original.
bow down.
Yes.
Wonder Woman. I mean,
But I was feeling the ISO 8 pile up there for a second.
Oh, very good.
yeah, that was
the
good
game
for
that you don't
someone
even
who
do
quit.
anymore.
That's right.
You're a quitter.
I'm a quitter.
But anyway, yes, Captain Marvel. I believe it's the first week in March. I can't wait. I freaking can't wait.
And I can't wait for us to finish Waterdeep Dragon Heist so we can do the Mad Mage. Waterdeep Mad Mage.
Yes. I really want to do the Mad Mage.
So are we continuing our characters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it's about. Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go all the way to level 20.
We will.
We are about level 20.
I would like to DM you guys in between, but I think based upon my work schedule, we're going to have to wait.
What is the highest level that I have gotten to? Is it
11.
8, right? 11?
Yeah.
11.
No, it was 12.
12?
Yeah. Remember at the end, he said, oh, you all leveled up, but we never, I mean,
We didn't play anymore.
we killed an ancient dragon.
Level 20. Yeah,
He said we this time.
We
He said
killed,
we this
yes, I
time.
know, I heard
Oh,
that.
I mean,
That's the first
Oh
time.
my
That's the first time
gosh.
he said
Wow, the truth will eventually come out.
that. It's amazing.
Sometimes I have to
Dude.
include you in my victory.
Oh my
Thank you very
yeah,
much.
okay.
So,
Nice. Because it only takes one person to kill a blue dragon.
Does anyone watch Russian Doll?
Oh my gosh, I binge watched it in a day.
I'm
Watched it
like
all.
4 episodes
I
in.
watched
It's
it all.
fantastic.
Dude,
It's my second favorite character.
you're gonna get me
Or
started.
actress from Orange is the New Black.
Natasha
Be-
Lyonne.
Behind the woman who plays Crazy Eyes.
Oh my gosh,
I love
Uzo.
Crazy
I
Eyes.
love Uzo Adoba, but no, not Natasha Lyonne. I don't watch it.
She's great.
She's in.
She's great.
We watched
Everyone
that,
should watch it.
and I thought it was, and this is not spoilers, it says this everywhere, I thought it was a Groundhog Day thing at first. I'm like, but she's so great that you want to watch it again. So you watch
She's
the
great.
second. and you watch the third, and it pulls you in. And yes, binge watch it. I don't know how you have disciplined yourself to not watch the whole thing. There's not that many episodes. There's like, I don't know, 12, 24.
I thought there was like 9.
Okay.
You said there was 3 plus.
It's short. It's really short. Yeah. So there's around 12 or 10 or 9.
Well, we watched 4, and then I needed a nap because it's my day off.
And drink.
And it's not just her that's great.
Yeah, I do drink a lot.
Me too, dude.
You did a bonus
Here,
action.
I'm just having orange juice.
Can you hear me? No, I'm sure you all love Natasha.
We do.
So, watch it. Russian
Watch
Doll.
Russian Doll.
And yes, the title comes into play within the series.
Matryoshka.
All right.
Good one.
Well,
Wow, and you were.
I'm not a spy.
Yeah.
Are you a spy?
I'm not a spy.
We've never been a spy, have we?
No.
we never defeated the entire U.S. Navy by being spies.
That's right. So I think we'll put a pin in the show now.
We should.
Because
it's so fun.
bantering right off the rails.
We
So,
freaking love our banter.
with that, embrace the nerd, and I hope you made this a big throw.
I do too.
Oh.